Example 3 for conic sections, starting with the general conic equation. Again, look for these squared terms. Here, notice both the x and the y are squared. Coefficients have the same sign. Because of this, I know it's going to be an ellipse. Again, for hyperbolas, both x and y had to be squared, but the coefficients needed to have different signs for it to be a hyperbola. Same process as hyperbolas, we're going to complete the square. So let's go ahead and first group our x's and group our y's. So I have 4y squared minus 8y plus 25x squared minus 100x. Move the constant 4 over to the other side as negative 4. Again, factor out the coefficients. 4y squared minus 2y plus 25x squared minus 4x. And now let's go ahead and complete the square. I have 4y squared minus 2y plus negative 2 divided by 2 squared. Not squared, sorry. Plus 25x squared minus 4x plus negative 4 divided by 2 squared. Again, maintaining equality. I added 4 of these. I had negative 4, I'm sorry, here. So I'll make sure that what's underlined gets added to both sides of the equal sign. Have 25, and it is positive, of these. Negative 4 divided by 2 squared. Let's start completing the square. These three terms will collapse to y minus 1 squared plus 25x minus 2 squared. Again, you would use a calculator here. You would get that this is 100. Standard form, you have to set it equal to 1, so let's divide by 100. Divide both sides, maintaining equality. Reduce the fraction 4 over 100. I get y minus 1 squared over 25 plus x minus 2 squared over 4 equal 1. Again, you're done here. Completing the square, but this is the standard form for the ellipse. Okay, let's go ahead and proceed to sketching this. And let's leave standard form. Same thing, let's go ahead and start with the center point. Opposite of the x value first is that negative 2, so opposite is 2. I go to the y, there's a negative 1, so opposite that is 1. So let's plot this point, 2, comma 1. Let's label it as a center point. And I look under the y, there's a 25, take the square root of 25, I have 5, indicating to me that I'm going to have to move 5 units from the center along the y direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a point there. 5 units downward. If you want to go ahead and label that, that way you know that you went 5 units along the y. Next thing, look under the x. There's a 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So that means I have to move 2 units along the x direction in both directions. Now this is an ellipse, so at this point, you just kind of go ahead and make your ellipse. Okay, and just remember that information has to be along the major axis, that is the longest axis, which is oriented along the y-axis. Since that is the case, these 2 points become vertex, or the vertices. So vertex point and vertex point. I know that the foci also have to lie along this axis, so let's go ahead and get that. But before that, let's go ahead and put the information for the vertex points. I already know center is at 2, 1. Vertices, just based on the geometry of the sketch, it's at 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, comma 6 for the top vertex. Bottom vertex is going to be at 2, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4. Okay, let's move on to the foci. Now here, again, you have to use this equation, c squared equal a squared minus b squared. Okay, just make sure that the a is the larger value. So here, a squared is going to be 25 minus 4. So c squared equals 25 minus 4. C squared is equal to 21, which yields that c equals the square root of 21, which using a calculator is approximately 4.6. I'm giving the approximation so that when I do move from the center point, again along the major axis, that is the longest axis, so I have to move along the y direction, well, approximately 4.6. 1, 2, 3, 4.6 is going to put me about here. Same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4.6 is going to put me about here. So the x's are going to be marked as the focus points. Okay, let's go ahead and get the coordinates of this for these foci. First coordinate, I know the x value is at 2. From the center, I moved, square root of 21 units. So the center point right now before was at 2, 1. I know I'm going to have to add square root of 21 units to go in the up direction. And then for the bottom focus, 2, 1, I have to subtract the square root of 21. And again, just give the approximation using the calculator here. You can give me the approximation as 2 comma 5.6, 2 comma negative 3.6. Okay. There you have the vertex and the foci. And that's the information that needed for the ellipse.